All right, Steph, so this, oh, that would have been perfect. Shoot it, hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Oh, that's gonna be so good. That's gonna be so good. Oh, that sucks.
Hey, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Chris.
And welcome to our story. Welcome back to the channel. We're so happy to have you here. We are going to intro today Spokane downtown at night long exposure.
Yeah, we took a trip downtown Spokane to do some night photography, to step outside our comfort zone just to see what we can come up with.
And I must say, you're in for a treat. Roll it.
All right, here we go, guys. So if anybody knows our family, you know that the dynamic's a little different. I like scripted things, and Stephanie likes to live out there on the edge.
Yeah, just go for it, right?
She likes to be unscripted. So this is what we did. We went out to downtown Spokane right after the sun went down to get some late night exposure, some of those long exposures.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for quite some time. And I was like, okay, well, we really need to do this because I really needed to learn long exposures.
And I was a little bit hesitant because, you know, it's nighttime. It's dark. It's downtown. Anything can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. But we had a really good time. I will say on this particular photo shoot, this was the most fun I have ever had. And I think a lot of it because it was unscripted, right?
Yeah, because oftentimes we have to step out there. We have to do things that may feel uncomfortable, but oftentimes that's where the most joy happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see Kaya going in and out of the shot there. She's actually working on some shots there. Do you know what you were trying to get there, Kaya?
I was trying to get the river and the dam below, but I couldn't get it clear enough because my iPhone just isn't made for low light.
Oh, gotcha. All right, so Krishan, this is your first shot?
Yeah, I was trying to get the statue. I thought this Native American statue was amazing. I thought the rust on the statue came out perfect. You got the nice bokeh in the background, and it feels like that statue is just jumping out in the picture.
And this is yours as well. I thought it was really interesting because in the video, everything looked dark. And so when you got it in the Lightroom, you put it in Lightroom, I'm like, wow, that's so amazing. It just kind of shows you how well Lightroom does, right? Because when you took the picture, it wasn't like this, right?
But not just Lightroom, but being in manual allows you to bring things out that wouldn't necessarily come out. You can see the difference here with the GoPro. It's just a set picture.
Right.
You're just going to get what the camera wants to give you. But when you see the pictures that me and you took, because we use the camera that allows us to step out and do different things and kind of show our artistic vision, we can do a little more.
I was a little disappointed with the GoPro. It didn't really seem to translate as well as I thought it would. Now, it does really good in the light, but I didn't think it did very well in the dark. What do you think about that? The picture seemed a little grainy.
I agree. It's just another situation with the right tool for the right job.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And that's what we have for the moment anyway. So this is your picture also. First three pictures here.
Now, this is the picture I initially went out there to get. I saw something on Instagram. I thought it was great. And I walked all over downtown to see if I can find this shot. And I found it as soon as I got out of the car. Well, as soon as I got back to the car, after looking for it, I turned around and there the shot was.
Crazy. It came out really, really well. So story time. Krishan and I was on the YouTube last night and we came across a really interesting story. Two pilots under Alaska Air took off and got into the air and did a little bit of the flight and then got into an argument / fight and had to turn the plane around. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what they were arguing about.
What were they arguing about?
The one pilot said that LeBron was better than Jordan. The other pilot was like, no, I can't trust your judgment. We got to go back.
Good judgment.
Cannot trust his judgment.
Yeah, some of the comments were really funny. One person said they're both right. Better to not have a disagreement in flight and have the wrong opinion crash the plane. I was thinking to myself, that's a really good one. And then somebody else said, as a good friend once told me, it's better to be on the ground wishing you were in the air than to be in the air wishing you were on the ground.
Both very true.
Very, very true. So I thought it was kind of funny. But
the reason why we told that story is because oftentimes you have to step outside of yourself and do those challenging things. You're going to come across situations like these where you cannot help but face the challenge. But you might as well create some challenging times for yourself to where you can make some amazing things happen. And that's what we were trying to do by going downtown and create these pictures.
Absolutely. So again, Lightroom to the rescue. If you look at the video and then you look at the photo that I took here, it's like night and day, literally. I love how the long exposures took those street lights and just made it look like a firecracker almost, or like a star. and it gave it like a starburst effect. So I thought that was really cool. So I think this is really funny. So we went out a couple of days before to scout out the photos that we were going to take this particular night. And can I tell you, we did not choose one location that we scouted out.
That is not what happened.
No, that is exactly what happened.
Not what happened. So we went out there in the steaming hot, the noon of the day was the hottest part of the day. We found all this amazing location, and Miss Adventurous Stephanie like, we're going to come back and we're going to walk around the park. We're going to get these at night. And there was some amazing shots.
Yeah.
However, me being the practical person I am, I'm like, probably not a good idea to be downtown at night after the sun goes down.
Yeah.
We can't see where we're going. Not that we're saying it's a dangerous place.
Right.
However, I don't want to put myself in a situation to where I have to use some more Army skills to get us out of there.
Oh, for sure. Kaya, what'd you think about the whole night shoot? Did you like it?
I did enjoy it. I was a little disappointed that I couldn't get more images on my phone. And before we went out for the photo shoot, I did look up to see if an iPhone could do long exposure, but you had to pay for a separate app to do so. So that's why I really couldn't get any images, but I did enjoy it as a whole.
Nice. Well, I mean, and I think it's good kind of getting those different perspectives. Kaya's photo will come up at the end, and she's going to have a little story time over that. But I will say I did like the difference between the night and the day. I really like capturing those photos at night just because of the lights and how they dance off of the camera, and the fact that we were doing the long exposure. I just thought that really brought a lot of drama into it, a lot of creativity, and I just thought it was unique and different. I enjoyed it, honestly. I thought it was like one of the best shoots we've done so far.
Yeah, I agree. And what I like about it, it really shows that a lot of the techniques that we learned in the daytime when it's easy, you can take those into difficult situations and benefit from them.
I can guarantee you, though, long exposure, I don't think is going to be my favorite. Because if you saw me in the video over there, I was talking to you, Krishan. I was complaining that the long exposure, you have to have a lot of patience for long exposure. Because I think at first you said on a 30, then we end up going to an 8. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, this is taking forever. This is taking forever. Because I like to kind of point, shoot, move. Point, shoot, move. And you were like, it doesn't really work that way.
Because when you put that on a shutter speed, a slow shutter speed where you got 30 seconds where you have to wait for that picture to develop, you cannot touch that camera.
Oh, yeah. And so I love this shot here. The Cadillac coming to that stop is absolutely beautiful. And again, I think long exposures kind of adds a creative edge to the photos, because the photo is gorgeous just as it is, but you're getting that long exposure with the Cadillac coming to a stop. I think that just makes it so creative.
All right, Steph, so this, oh, that would have been perfect. Shoot it, hit it. Oh, that's gonna be so good. That's gonna be so good. Oh, that sucks.
It didn't show up.
This is the perfect example of how you put somebody in a great situation and they reap all the benefits.
You put me in a great situation?
Absolutely.
You put me in a great situation?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not. Now, that's not the right story. So I was like, oh, I gotta hurry. This is boring. Let me run up to the next shot, and I just happened to get it.
That is not what happened at all. So I went out there initially to get the bus. And I'm helping everybody get their camera settings just perfect.
Lord. Here we go.
And I see the 2 buses coming, which was the one shot I wanted to get. I look up, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a perfect shot. And she set up perfectly for it, and I'm nowhere near my camera.
I was already taking it. I was already taking the photos. So, yeah, this is really cool. So this is probably one of the busier intersections, right? Because it was like 5 or 6 intersections, 7 or 8 intersections, and we just were able to get them just one intersection after the next. So this is when the bus came by. So I thought it was really weird. My bus shot looked completely different from yours. Do you know why that is?
Well, if you look at the settings, were totally different.
Oh, okay.
And plus you had 2 buses and some car stones. You had a lot of light hitting that sensor.
Oh,
Mine,
okay.
I had one solitary bus because, of course, Stephanie is the luckiest person on earth and gets all the fabulous shots.
Can you tell me why I was lucky, though?
You put yourself in a good situation.
Right, I rushed on up to the next shot. You got to keep it moving. I keep trying to tell you, can't stay on one shot for too long.
Oh, I like to let the situation develop, fully taking the experience.
Kaya is over here in pain, y'all. She's just like in excruciating pain. What do you think about that, Kaya? Do you think rush to get the next shot or just take a long time setting up your shot?
I think that it should be a mixture of both, because the fun is being there, setting up the shot and getting it. But also, if you take too much time on one thing, you won't be able to see what other things have to offer.
That's right.
Yeah, that's really good. So
right.
she's
You gotta enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely. This is a really cool one too. So what do you think you enjoyed the most, Krishan, about the long exposure, taking a long exposure?
You know, I truly do enjoy the journey. So going out there and keeping your head on a swivel, you know, when you have those specific shots that you came out there to get, but also seeing what the situation is going to give you. Like the statues we saw in the first one, I didn't expect to get that shot. I actually wanted to get a shot that was facing the other way to see if I can get the waterfall to come out at night.
Okay.
But the statue came out better. You know? That's what
Very
I liked
nice.
about it.
I like the statue because, well, I felt like I got way too many long exposure shots, and I didn't really get enough stagnant shots like you did. So the next time we do this, I'd like to just kind of get some just regular shots and not let all my shots be long exposure. But I guess I didn't understand the assignment because I thought it was long exposure night. So all my pictures were long exposure. This is like one of my most favorite ones. I like the Cadillac one really good too, but I thought this one came out well, mainly because the stoplights look like starbursts. So I thought it was kind of cool.
I do like that about your pictures, that the R6 does such a great job with nighttime, with low light photos.
Agreed, yeah.
You know, that those street lights look amazing.
So, coming up is my picture, and it really reminded me of the time that I went to the library for a club that they were hosting for teenagers learning to use technology. And at the end of the event, they offered us pizza for dinner. And it just reminded me of how we really have the wrong idea about what we should be feeding ourselves and our children during these events. Because every event I've ever been to, they've offered pizza during the event. And I've always wondered where we'd be if we'd offered something else. And I kind of thought of that because there were so many shapes in the windows that reminded me of food.
I think that's a really good point. All right, well, that was the video, and we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. We try to throw a little story time in there just to show you how often it's important to step outside your comfort zone, try something new, and see what kind of amazing things can happen.
And drop some comments in the comment section below and let us know if you like story time and you enjoy it. Well, we just want to thank you so much for joining in on this week's episode of Downtown Spokane Long Exposure. We want you to remember to do something nice for someone today, and you can do it.
And remember, we're just ordinary people trying to do extraordinary things.
You know it.